The aim of this experiment was to teach an animal a form of sign language by using lexicograms. The procedures of the experiment are to create the lexicograms to teach to the animal. The lexicograms we used in the experiment were to sit, jump, paw, and come here. Next, you teach the animal the lexicograms, which are commands in this experiment. Make sure the animals comprehend the command before testing them. Wait approximately 30 to 60 minutes. Test the animal on the lexicograms and see what they remember, and repeat 6 times with each different command. If you help with the demands, they will make the data incorrect due to demand characteristics. Repeat each command 2 more times over 2 different days. Record and collect the data. The independent variable of the experiment was the type of lexicograms used to teach Ginger. The dependent variable of this experiment was how well Ginger corresponded to the lexicograms shown to her without help.
Come. Okay. No. Paw.
Show her the sign.
Paw. She's so smart. She spells it, that's why. Paw. Paw. There we go. Sit. 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 Ow!
Okay. The results of day 1 were that when we told Ginger to sit, she successfully followed the command twice and unsuccessfully followed it 4 times. The command jump was successfully followed once and unsuccessfully followed 5 times. The command paw was successfully followed once, and also it was unsuccessfully followed 5 times. The command come here was never successfully followed, but unsuccessfully followed 6 times. The results of day 2 were that the command sit was successfully followed 3 times and also not successfully followed 3 times. The command jump was successfully followed once and not successfully followed 5 times. The command paw was successfully followed twice and not successfully followed 4 times. And come here was successfully followed once and not successfully followed 5 times. Day 3 results were that the command sit was successfully followed 4 times and not successfully followed 2 times. Jump was successfully followed twice and not successfully followed 4 times. The command paw was successfully followed 3 times and also not successfully followed 3 times. And come here was successfully followed twice and not successfully followed 4 times. The data was collected as quantitative data by counting the amount of times Ginger successfully followed the command or did not successfully follow it. Ginger understood the lexicograms more throughout the days, as the data shows. Sit and paw were the best known because they were more common tricks that Ginger could pick up easier. The strength of this experiment was that it was a field experiment, which allowed Ginger to be in her natural environment. Her being in her natural environment makes the experiment have high ecological validity. The weaknesses of the experiment was that it was difficult to get Ginger to focus on the lexicograms when teaching her and also testing her. There were demand characteristics such as the hand being on the lexigram symbolizing a paw. There were age and sex biases as well. The ethical concerns was that there were none in the experiment because the subject being used was an animal and not a human being. This means there was no harm, no one could be lied to, and no one had to be debriefed.